It's there! Holy moly, this one's gonna go big!
Hello and welcome back to the channel. We're going to have a look at some older machines for this video. The two that you can see in front of you here, High Roller and Cash Attraction. We're also going to have a look at Flashback here. This one here is JPM, the other two are BFM, and there is a reason for this. It just came out over at Desert Island Fruits in the Jackpot dates thread, which has had a few more posts made to it recently. And one of the things that We Are City was saying here is that it's a shame that I wasn't into the £4 era machines, as there were quite a few entertaining machines with plenty of skill stop features. And my reply to that was the £4 era was just before I started playing, but there were loads of them in arcades in 1990 and 1991. I occasionally fire up some of the JPM MPS2 machines, such as High Roller. I very clearly remember playing that in an arcade in Bury when I was at college. Possibly something to do for the FME Quick Hit series. So yeah, that got me thinking about maybe featuring some of these old machines in a video. And the way that I'm going to do it is specifically around 3 of the arcades that were in Bury when I was at college. I went to Bury College, I've mentioned this before, between 1990, started in September 1990 and took my A-levels in whatever it would have been, April or May of 1992. For that period of time when I was at college, I've mentioned this before, I spent a lot of time up in Bury in the arcades when I should have been at college. Now, this one here I've featured before, the Rock Amusements. That is actually still... That's the only one out of the 3 that appears to have survived right the way through those 30 years as an arcade. The oldest one that we've got there, 2008, the Rock Amusements. But there are also 2 other arcades in Bury that we used to go to. Now, one of them was here. I've gone as far back as I can on Google Street View to July 2008. This is up in the sort of top half of the centre of Bury. And it was there. It occupied those 2 spots there. That side was your sort of fruit machine side, and this side was kind of your video game side. And I spent a lot of time in that arcade. It was run by a really grumpy fucker who didn't seem to like fruit machines or people who played fruit machines very much. I remember one day I went in there, and he had, he had 777 Heavens and the Ace System ones like Prime Time. He had a High Roller in there. That's why I've got High Roller. I remember he had a Barcrest Smash and Grab. A mishmash of kind of £4 and £4.80 machines. Some of the £4 Bar X's in there, all that kind of thing. And one day I went in there and I was just kind of going around the machines and playing them till I got a win. But what I was doing is, because I was playing them like 1 credit at a time, when I got a win, I would just move on to the next machine and was leaving wins on the reels. And I did that on, like, say, 3 machines, and he came out of his little booth at the back of the arcade and told me off for leaving wins on the reels because other customers wouldn't want to play them. That was his kind of attitude towards you. He, like I say, he didn't seem to like fruit machines or fruit machine players. He was a grumpy old fucker. I tried to spend more time in that side playing the video games, because obviously you could get much better value for money. Certainly as a clueless player like me who had no idea what he was doing, I would try and spend more time in the video game section. Particularly remember he had a Shinobi in there and a Raiden as well. I really got quite good at Raiden, and I still play Raiden in main to this day. But of course I was lured through to the fruit machine side quite often, lost a fair few quid in there. But there were plenty of £4 machines. There were still loads of £4 machines in the arcades. They had £4 machines in the Rock as well, although that was probably one that, out of the 3, that had transitioned more to £4.80 machines. And there was another one down here. Now, I can't find the building. This is, if you go right down the end of the Rock and carry on going out the other side, it was down here somewhere, down a back street down here. But I don't think the building is there anymore. It was maybe around here. I was looking for it last night. You can see here, these are all new builds. This wasn't there back in 1990. So I think it was down a back street down there that doesn't exist anymore. But that was out of the 3 arcades. That was a really, really dingy one. That had a lot of 2p stuff in there. Load of 2p machines, load of 10p, £4 machines. And I'm just trying to think if they even had a single £4.80 machine in there. And I'm not sure they did. I can't think of them having a £4.80 machine in there. That was their kind of newest, best machine was Cash Attraction on 10p £4. I remember very, very clearly they had a Cash Attraction in there, and that was like their marquee machine. There was a lot of old stuff in there, a lot of MPU3 machines in there. I do remember there being a lineup in there, which I did play. I put like £1 or two in it and didn't get on with it at all. It seemed dreadfully old-fashioned compared to the other machines that were around at the time. And paying 10p a go for this £3 jackpot, when there were some really great 2p machines in there, which had a £2 jackpot, I just didn't see the point of playing line-up at all. I know for many people it is indeed a classic machine, but never got on with it even when it was in the arcades. They had also had a Street Fighter 2 in there, which with the benefit of hindsight was running hacked ROMs. A couple of other video games, Thunder Force 2 by Konami. But that was the dingy one of the three. That had Cash Attraction. And the reason I've got Flashback here, Flashback was in there. They had a Flashback in there. Now, unfortunately, we haven't got the 480 ROMs for Flashback. This is running the £6 upgrade ROMs. It's a Vectra 666DX, quite an old one now. This is harking back to 2015. I'll just tell you here that the High Roller DX here is by Pook, and the Cash Attraction DX is by Richie 1976. So thank you to the three layout creators for those. So that's why I picked these three particular machines. This has got me thinking, by the way, about other videos that I want to make. I'm thinking back to some of those 2p machines that they had in the dingy arcade, like Blue Streak is one that springs to mind, and some other PCP 2p play ones. I've also been thinking back to other £4 jackpot machines. I mentioned those Ace ones on the Sys1 technology, Prime Time and the like. Probably worth doing those in a video. So this has got me thinking about doing some videos about these older machines, pre-£4.80 era, that could still be found. They were very, very common in arcades. The thing with pubs is, whenever a new jackpot comes out, the pubs are onto it very, very quickly. They tend to switch to the new jackpot as quickly as possible. So by the time that me and my friends started going to the pub, back end of 1990 and then into 1991, there were basically no £4 machines left in the pubs. They'd all gone £4.80, but there were loads of older machines still in the arcades, as per those three arcades in Bury, as per other arcades that you could go to in the town. We used to go to Bolton quite a lot and go to the arcades there, for example, and certainly out at Blackpool, particularly if you went a little bit further down the prom to some of the kind of lower rent arcades, if you will, where they tended not to have the shiniest, newest machines. There were loads of sort of 2p and 5p play machines to be found in there as well. So I've got quite a few in my head that I want to make videos for on these older machines. So this isn't going to be the only one, so there's not just going to be these three machines that I'll be doing. I will just do these three in this video, but I've got loads in my head now that I want to do videos for that I remember playing, and it did come into my head to do this when We Are City made mention of it over at Desert Island Fruits. And I thought, yes, you know what, I probably should do that, because even though they weren't in the pubs, which is when I really started playing in anger, when we started going to the pub, that was where my addiction took hold on the £4.80 machines in the pubs. There were still plenty of these older machines around, and I did play them in the arcades. So with that said, let's start with High Roller here. This is a Pook DX. It has got the side out there, so it will cover up the Cash Attraction just off to the side. And this is, let me just turn that down on my speakers there, otherwise that's going to come through on the microphone. I was never a huge fan of this one in the arcade, but then again, I didn't really have a clue how to play it, so it's a standard. It's kind of got quite a lot of sort of modern fruit machine features on it, in that you have got a bonus there at 3, you've got an entry trail to get in, and then you've got the features once you get in there. Playing it in the emulator, it seems to me that the best thing to do with this is just force it out for the high rollers at the top. Can you see there at the top of the trail? You get a £1 high roller and a £2 high roller. Ah, it has given me the exchange here. See there, it has given me the option to exchange. Now I used to take skill cash, so let's just take skill cash, but I never was very good at it on the real machine, and I'm certainly going to embarrass myself in the emulator here. It gets quite fast. Let's have a go. Oh, there we go. It does start to speed up, you can see there. Oh, go on. Oh, no, it's hustling a bit now. Oh, that jumped. You know what? I'm sure that jumped then. I've got a pretty rum idea there that jumped on me then, and no repeat. So you can see that I tended to mess around taking these low-down features, and that doesn't seem to be the way to play it. See, it's giving me the exchange again here. What we'll do, I'll just take them all to show them to you, but I mean, we have got a 2 to gamble on there. In fact, since we've got a good number to gamble on, see, it's a 1 to 12 gamble, so we've already seen skill cash. Oh, since the numbers are good, shall we go? But now then, let's take that because we've got a shit number there. So I would never gamble on shit numbers. That was the thing. And then it spins off and it gives... But you see there, this is very much a feature where it's just going to give you what it wants to. So it's adding the nudges in there, and when it wants to stop, it will stop. There we are. And what's that going to be? Is that going to be... Oh, see, 20. So this is the problem with that. So your best thing to do, as far as I can tell, is just try and gamble out for the... You've got a £1 high roller and a £2 high roller at the top. And it does like to fill it up. It will certainly fill up. If you catch it right, it will fill up the £2 high roller there, which is £8. £8 cash, which is not too bad. You've also got this CASHPOT thing going on here. You can fill all the 20p's up twice. So the first lot of 20p's, you see there's 10 20p's in there. So the first time you fill it up, you light up the £2 note. And then the second time you fill it up, which we're on the way to doing there, the CASHPOT is full for £4. So we should be able to take that. Whilst we're doing this, we should be able to get the £4 out of that. I was just playing this a couple of nights ago. And I saw that, so I thought, you know what, I'll leave that in for the video, and then we can collect the £4 on it once we're actually in the video. But you can see here, the problem is it can take a fair few quid off you. When it's not in a good mood, this thing, it can take a fair few bob off you. It is at least giving us the exchange. And this is at a time when, I might have... I might have like a £5 on me. For a day at college, I might have £5. And you could lose £5 on this quite easily. So these 10p £4 machines were a little bit... We've got a change number there. Were a little bit high risk for me. I didn't have the bankroll to take them on at all. So I was a little bit wary of them. So let's see if it'll let me get away with that. Oh, now we've got the £1 high roller, which we could collect. Let's collect that, because that's a sketchy number there. And this can go for £4 if it wants to. So it's just a simple press start. See if you get it or not. And it hasn't. It's just given us a straight quid off that. We will see if we can get the £2 high roller as well. I mean, the wins are fairly... But this is what the other thing, you see. So the wins are fairly frequent. But what you're doing there is just a one up, one down gamble. And with no exchange, it does just fire these crappy bloody wins at you. And you've got to remember here, as ever, that we are on emulator percentage. So we've got a nice, generous emulator percentage here. I bet that one in the arcade, I bet that stingy old fucker was running it on bloody 70% or pretty much as thereabouts, as low as he could. He wouldn't be giving anything away. So, see, we can hold that there, and it might give us the exchange. You see there? It does seem to be, I've got to say, it does seem to be more generous in the emulator on the exchanges, because I remember the one in the arcade has been really stingy on giving you the exchanges. So I don't know if it's maybe a different ROM revision, or it's just that the percentage is making this one a bit kinder. But it was really, really frustrating, the one in the arcade, where it would just keep giving you these piddly little wins, maybe gambling up once and then losing the gamble down, and you'd get like 20p or 30p, something like that. The boosts are often a bit crap. I'll get the mouse pointer out of the way. See, this is the prize, 2 of a kind. I mean, that was a silly hold there. I was running the risk of it giving me a 2 of a kind there. But it's a constant pain in the arse. There are a lot of machines of this era, bar crests of this era as well, like the Flash Cash series and all that kind of thing. They are absolute fuckers for just dropping in 2 of a kind wins for shitty little forced wins. We're going to go all out on the gamble here. The other thing with the Nudgepot, by the way, is even when you get the Nudgepot built up, when you collect the Nudgepot, it respins the reels. So it doesn't matter what you think you've got lined up, because it spins the reels off. and then kind of gives you what it wants to, so that's a bit crap as well. But you can see it going through the... I'm now, okay, I've got £3.90 in the bank here, but I've put £8 in at this point. And if you think about it, if my whole budget for the day is £5, and I'm supposed to be getting like something to eat out of that as well. Remember, we are going back to like 1991 here, so this is when, you know, like a fiver went a lot further than it does today. But you could easily bin a fiver in one of these things in no time at all. And then you'd have no money and no food. So, like I said, I was very wary of them. And that was why I tended to get sort of caught in collecting these low-down features, which gives you a little bit more playtime, but then you're just grinding yourself out against a shitty AWP percentage, which certainly in a dingy arcade in Bury was probably 70% or pretty close to it, let's be honest. And there's another two kind of... It is at least giving us the exchanges. We are seeing the exchanges here, which is something. Look at that. Lost the high-low there. And there we got... No, so this probably lose down now. There you go. You just get 50p sort of collect prize in the bank. There's no... It doesn't seem to be any way that you can avoid those, because it just drops them in on the reels. And then you can either just collect them on the value it comes in at, in which case it's just a forced collect prize. Or rather, you elect to collect that, or if you gamble... See, I mean, oh, there, we've got an exchange at least. Or if you gamble and lose, then it becomes a forced collect price. There doesn't seem to be any way to avoid it, really. It's in a bit of a crappy mood here, isn't it? So I'm already over a fiver down. The cash pot is full, though. So if we get an option to collect the cash pot there, we will do that. That's quite a nice hold there. We'll go in for 4. We've got a 12, so that this is... Now, I can exchange. Shall we exchange for the pot? No, because you know what? We've got a 12. That's a... Oh, go on. We're going to go for it. We're going to go for it on a 9 for the £2 high roller. There we are. And we will certainly take the win. We're not going to take the nudges. Guaranteed £2, and now we get a £2 cash repeater. The sound on MPS2, it's not terrible. They at least have got some kind of tuney type noise. Certainly better than, say, MPU3 machines, but they're still not amazing sounding. So let's go for a £2 repeat. There we are. We've got a £2 cash repeat. So that puts £4 up top, and it can go on if it wants to. There's another £2. So now this is what I didn't used to do. There we are. So that's £6 cash. But that's what I didn't have the balls and or the bankroll to do in the arcade. I tell you, we've got a sort of light out there, haven't we? We've got a... Oh, there we are. That's the bank limit. It's telling me to take my tenner. It doesn't want me to have more than £10. The bank limit is a very modest £10 on this. So there we are. We've had the £2 high roller. It's actually, and this is borne out by the times I've played this in the emulator before. If you just kind of force it out for the £2 high roller at the top, you will usually end up getting, or at least the high roller, the £1 or the £2, because either of them can go on. That seems to be about the best way to make some money or get chunkier money back. But in that arcade, when I had like no money on me, hardly, £5, maybe £10 on a good day, I just didn't dare to do that. Sometimes I would have more money than that because I was working at the time, but that was a one-way ticket to just losing my wage at that point. But on a normal day, I could just have as little as a fiver or a tenner on me. So 10p machines were quite spicy. They were quite a spicy proposition. What we want to do now, because I could have had the pot there. The pot is full. I want to take the pot because that's £4. So it did give us a... We've got to get up the ladder there and then we'll see. See, it's in a bad mood now. Can you see now that we've had a decent top out of it? It's going to be... It's a little bit more Larry to give us the exchange. Let's just see if we can get the pot on this. No, that's probably going to lose. Yeah, wasn't fancying that. We've got that nice... I don't want to leave that £4 pot there. So let's just see if we can get that. And then we'll move on to the next machine. But it's going to tighten up now because we did have... it was £6 we had off the top there, wasn't it? So that's gonna reduce the machine's happiness a little bit because it has just paid £6 cash out to us. There we are. Now there's the pot. We'll have the pot. That is £4. And there we are, that's £4. And now that will start filling up again. So that should be tokens. Let's just collect out, and that should be £4 in tokens. There we are, it was indeed £4 in tokens. So this would have probably been a fairly modern machine in 1990. Can we normally JPM have on the glass somewhere? I can't, maybe it was something they started doing a bit later, but if I had to guess, I'd say this was probably a 1988, 1989 machine, something like that. So pretty new, still pretty new in 1990. 10p, £4, and that was one absolutely 100% sure I remember playing that in that arcade there, run by the grumpy old man who didn't like people coming. Why open an arcade if you don't like fruit machines and don't like people who play fruit machines? And it's not even like I was in there like winning, I was losing in there, and it's like he still didn't want me there. It really is quite bizarre. I don't know which comes first. If people who open arcades think they like fruit machines and fruit machine players and grow to dislike them, or just open them up as some kind of grudge and vendetta against them because they already don't like them. I really don't know. Anyway, let's have a go with Cash Attraction. Now, this is a standard BF. There's quite a few that are very similar to this one. Cash Explosion was one. Obviously, you've got Double Chance, which has got the double trail thing going on. So slightly different. But there were a few of these around. Similar-ish machines. Oh, now this one at least does have, and we'll see it when we get a win there. So that'll put us in. You've got the slight risk here of getting a cherry there, but Skill Cash. Now, believe it or not, oh, that's a shit gamble, isn't it? Oh, Skill Cash was my weapon of choice on this. I actually got, and if you can believe this, I actually got quite good at Skill Cash on this. To the point that in that dingy little arcade, the one that I can't find, the one that was down here somewhere, I would sometimes get, if there were a few school children around, if we were in there kind of after college, after the schools had come out, I would sometimes get like school children watching me. And I know it sounds slightly incredulous now, having looked at how shit I am at skill stops in the here and now. But back in 1990, 1991, I was pretty good at skills. And I was pretty good at the skill cache on this machine in particular. And I could even I could take it out right... Oh, God, here we go. Fucking... Why do you say these things, Degsy? I could take this out to big money, even when it was really motoring with some degree of consistency. I'm old now. I find it harder in the emulator anyway. I nearly missed that one then. Oh, I did miss the fucking hell, Degs. That was... I'm talked myself into failure there, didn't I? We'll have another go at it. We'll have another go. But the younger version of me, 30 years ago, I promise you, I was quite tidy. Genuinely quite tidy at the skill cache. Oh, God, oh man. Right, I'm not going to collect that. We'll gamble up because we've got a 1 to go on. Do keep an eye on your Nudgepot there. Your Nudgepot can sometimes be pretty good. Oh, that's a little bit harsh there. I think the way to play this was really the skill. If you could get good enough at the skill, there was some money to be made on this. If you could consistently get the skill up to £2 or big money, when it was kind of at top speed, you could do pretty well on this. And that was what I tried to do in that arcade. I tried to just go for skill cache and collect that. See, there we go. Now, this is where I prefer this style. Can you see there? We can exchange our win for some respins. So rather than getting a crappy collect prize, we can it should put us on here. Once you exchange him for the respins, there's a very good chance it'll put you in. I'm not liking that. Oh, dear, I'm not liking that. Now, real match. I think this is one of the ones where it comes back to if it will... Oh, let's try and go for big money here. So CASHPOT is £2 Nudgepot. Come on, let's get big money. Oh! Oh, sorry, no, I was 1 out. I was 1 out from where I was. Are we going to gamble again? Oh, that was a bit of a silly gamble there. The CASHPOT was £2. I shouldn't have gone for that. That was a fool. Wouldn't be doing that on the real machine, of course. You'd just be taking your... You would just be taking your £2 there off the CASHPOT. And there is a reserve CASHPOT as well, which would have dropped in for us. I'm bound being slightly... This is... Oh, fucking hell. Right, okay, fine. Fine, let's just fuck this up again. Come on, Degs, I see it. Should be there. It's a bit more like it. Come on. That's a little bit more like it. That wasn't actually going too fast there. It can get faster than that. It can get quite... There's no way at maximum speed. Repeat chance. That's a familiar noise. Wow, 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 wow. Oh, no. They can repeat on these things as well. They can repeat. Even on this this £2 one here can repeat out to a tenner. I'm 10 or 12 quid I've got in my head this can repeat out to. Much prefer the model here that we can exchange our shitty little win. We can exchange for respins. That really does make a big difference, I think, to the game. If I take skill cash again, it will almost certainly... Oh, that's probably not going to win. When I take skill cash again, you'll probably see it's going faster. As you start to take the value out of skill cash, it will speed up. And I have to say, it was a long, long way. I thought that was going pretty slow there. Oh, it's just not letting me get the gamble there. Oh, pressing the wrong bloody button. So, we'll... Oh, no, stupid. I had the respins there. I didn't need to gamble. That was a mistake there. I already had the 2 respins were being offered, so I stuffed myself there. Oh. Let's take it then. I think it'll be going faster now. Oh, it's... No, you know what? Let's see how much it speeds up. In a way, I find it harder when it's going slow, you know. Oh, that was shit. I missed that one. That would miss... Ah, bad Degsy. Missed that one. That would be unacceptable, but I would be very, very annoyed with myself back in the arcade if I was playing it like that. But it is nice that you can get big money off such a low down feature. I think the real match, it comes back to what was on the reel. If you let it time out, it'll come back to what was on the reel, but only up to a certain point. And after that, it won't do it. So I think it was maybe the pairs for £1. If there's a pair on the reel when you collect real match, if you let it time out, it'll come back to it, but it won't do it for like a big money or a jackpot. I think that's right. I mean, we could test it easily enough, I suppose. I want to do skill cash again. Right, come on then. Let's see if we can... It should still be going quite slow because I've fucked it up twice now. I do find it hard when it's going like this sort of speed. That was light. Fucking hell, Degs. Oh, dear me. I'll leave him in. I'm not pretending I'm anything other than shit at these things these days, but hand on heart, me in front of the real machine in 1990 was actually quite good at that. We'll keep an eye on the Nudgepot as well, because that's where you tend to get your jackpots on this, is from the Nudgepot. Not very. They were quite rare wins, token wins. On a lot of these 10p £4-pounders, that they seem far more focused around the sort of £2 cash repeater, far less on the actual token wins. Pretty rare to get. Right, I'm doing appallingly on this. Let's see if we can get a little bit better. Oh, that was early. Oh dear, how humiliating. I'll leave them in. Doesn't matter. Oh, this is where it can force a prize on me. See there, I needed 2 gambles to get to the respins. And that's where it can just force a little crappy prize on you. But it's nowhere near as bad. That should give us a number there. Oh, is it 3? I thought, yeah, okay. Is there half a chance with the... How far away is the jackpot there? No, it's quite a way away. That's where we're going to get the jackpot. It's from the Nudgepot. Oh, it took pity on me there. That is really taking pity that I had to do so few to get the big money. That there is a lot of value in that skill cash there for it to be going that slow. It can get so much faster than that. If my voice is a bit wonky, by the way, I do apologise. My daughter keeps bringing all kinds of horrible germs home from school, so constantly got some kind of coldy thing going on at the moment. Not COVID, as far as we can tell. We are testing negative on those lateral flow thingies, but constant runny noses and sore throats at the moment, I'm afraid, which is potentially impacting upon my voice a little bit. Let's just see if we can get... I'd like to get a jackpot on this, if we can. Oh, that was a bit... Usually a very fair high-low gamble on this. Quite unusual. To lose on sort of 3s and 10s, as we did there, is really quite unusual. But I much preferred this to High Roller. They're closer for me now. Now, playing them in the emulator, I kind of like them both kind of about the same. But back in the arcade, I much preferred... we'll exchange over there. I much preferred Cash Attraction to High Roller. Just seemed to give a much better game. And the skill cache, unlike on High Roller, which I didn't feel the skill cache was even remotely reliable for getting big money, you could do it on Cash Attraction. I want to take skill cache again because I think that should be speeding up. Certainly if you can hit big money on it sort of 2 or 3 times on the trot, it will really start to speed up. But obviously I've not been doing that here because I have been missing it. And missing it pretty badly, if we're honest. See there, it can tighten up though. It can tighten up on you. And want, you know, maybe 3 or 4 quid just to get onto the trail. So you have to just put another £1 in there. Oh, that was... Oh, I could have stopped it there on... Oh, that was an unusual lose on that on an 11. Quite a rare number to lose on there, 11. It has just gone. It's just wanting a few quid here, isn't it? I am actually down on this. I'm 13 quid in. And I've only got £7.80 in the bank. So we could do with getting a bit of something here. Let's exchange in. That should... We've got a 12 and that should give it... It's very rare for it not to actually put you in off these respins. So I can't see that there's going to be... Oh dear, this is... Oh, that Nudgepot's pretty high, isn't it? Let's just try. Let's see if I can get skill. Let's just see what it's doing now, speed-wise. Oh, I'm not. I was early. I thought I just had it zoned in then. Sorry, I was just not talking there because I thought I had the rhythm of it then. Almost dared to dream it had just come back to me and it had. It hadn't. I thought I had my eye in and I didn't. That was slightly annoying. It's still not going at full speed. You can see it's sped up a little bit there, but it's still not going at full speed. It can go faster than that. Let's just see. Can we get a jackpot? And can we... I mean, the CASHPOT doesn't really matter. I mean, you can see there's a reserve CASHPOT as well. So if you collect it twice on the bounce, you can get 2 lots of 2 quid when the reserve is full as well. But you can certainly find yourself in a situation where the CASHPOT is less than 2 quid. Like I say, if you collect a couple of them quickly on the bounce. What have we got here? No, it's just wanting a few bob to get on here, isn't it? No. That'll probably be one gamble for the respin. So this should put us in. Crap number, though. Crap number. Should give us 2 now. There we are. It's a really bad number. There's going to be fuck all off the Nudgepot. Ooh. Well, go on then. Let's have another go. Let's see. Give it one more go. Oh, that miles out. That was no excuse for being 2 out. I was just way early there. I can't complain. It is absolutely me missing these. Not the machine cheating me, I'm just fucking it up. Can't even remotely complain. We could actually do with a decent £2 repeater here. Come on, I'm a few bob down on this. No sign of a jackpot. I will certainly take a jackpot. If we can get a jackpot, I'll take it. That should put us in. It can't really miss there, can it? Oh, where's Nah, jackpot's miles away. God, go on. No, early again. Early again. I actually... Oh, it's a pity repeat. It's giving me a pity repeat. Shameful performance. Let's see if we can do better. No, I was early. I was early. Just can't quite get it. Can't quite get zoned in on it. You can see there, though, even though I've been fucking it up, you can. I'm sure you can see. Oh, that's got a collect prize written on it there. You can see there that a better player than me, or me of 30 years ago, you could actually, if you could get good enough at the skill cache on this, you could actually take the value out of it just from skill cache. Really, there was no need to worry about getting up to the top to get your big money. You could get it off skill cache. I entirely appreciate I am failing miserably. See, now this is where I'm pretty sure if I collect real match and let it time out, it won't go back to the big money. I'm so sure if I... Go on then. Just for the sake of it, let's... Oh no, I've spaffed it then. You can see there, it started to speed up a little bit. It has actually started to speed up a little bit now. Because I've had a couple of £1.50s off it, haven't I? But you can't, this is the thing, you can't afford to be missing them like I am there. If you're going to actually sort of make a reasonable job of taking the value out of the machine, you have got to be consistently good at skill cache. And I am clearly not even remotely pretending that I'm doing anything other than shit here. Oh, that's a bit of a big ask there. Now there's a rare one. There's a rare one where it doesn't actually put you in off that. I'm nearly 19 quid in here and I've only got £12.60 in the bank. But obviously the thing that's really hurting me here is those dreadful, dreadful performances on skill cache. You need to be doing better than that. You really do. Because when it wants to, you can see here it can just want 3, 4, maybe even 5 quid just to get you in. So if you're going to go down the skill cache route, you need to be doing... There we are. You need to be doing far, far better than I am here. Oh, come on, put me in. There we are, okay, so... Oh, dear. Dear. Let's have a go. Oh, I was late! This is so frustrating because I know I'm missing it. And I just can't help but feel that, oh dear. I'm actually getting quite annoyed with myself because I should be doing, even in the here and now in the emulator, I should be doing better than that. That is not good enough. Not good enough at all. Can we get there? What do I need to get? I need to get 6 quid now. To get me money back, I need to get 6 quid. And my performance on skill cache here just is not good enough to do. See, I mean, I'll collect real match, but I mean, I don't know if you're actually supposed to be able to see that, but it has given us a repeat. But I certainly can't see that at full speed. Bells, I don't know if you're supposed to be able. What's it after? Pair 1, pair bonus. Oh, what was it? No, it's pair bonus. Sorry, I had the position on the reels wrong. I was a pair early there. If we can get a chance of real match on a higher symbol, what I'll do is just test that theory on it coming back to. But I've got it in my head. It only does it up to £1. You can see here I'm 22 quid in, and I've only got £14.70 in the bank. But, and I will just say for the record here that I think these machines are far, far more like what an... Oh, that's a big ask on numbers there. He has done it. Far, far more like what an AWP should actually be. Spiritually, these things are what you would call an AWP. To think that this is the kind of class of machine that ended up at £1 a play with a £100 jackpot, and this is the direct fact. So let's try it there. We'll leave it on. It was on a melon, so let's let it time out. But yeah, this is the direct lineage. These are the descendants of your £100 jackpot AWPs. They are. Oh, there you see there. It didn't come back to the same thing. What's it after? Melon bar. So it certainly didn't want to come back to a melon there, did it? But yeah, it's hard to believe in a way that these are the compensated AWPs of the year 1990, and you can trace a direct line from these all the way up to the miserable £100 abominations, up to and including what I call the worst machines ever made, which were, of course, the £100 reflexes. I am not doing very well on this. That'll probably be... Oh, now let's just box cleverly. What's it going to step... Oh, it's going to step down to a 3 if we do it that way. And we've got... Obviously, we certainly go for the big money there. Could do with, like, 3 repeats here, couldn't I? Let's see what it wants to do. £20 is your bank limit on this. Oh, no repeat! Could have really done with a couple of repeats there. Well, we're back in again. Oh, really? Now let's try it on that. Shall we try it? So there's a pair. I have it in my head that it'll come back to a pair, but I could be wrong. I haven't tested this before making the video, because I never collect real match, and I never collected it on the real thing. They just didn't seem... There, yeah, it will come back to a pair. So what's it after? There we are. So yeah, that for me is the problem with real match. If you are supposed to be able to actually see it and genuinely hit it, I never could, for a jackpot or a big money. I never could on the real machine. We did have some talk. There was some chat in the arcade, we heard from it somewhere. Oh, if you let it time out, it'll come back to what was ever on the reels. But it is capped. And I think on the 20p versions, like Double Chance, I think it's still just the pair that it'll come back to, but it's £1.20 on the 480 machines instead of a quid. So that's the limitation of real match. I've lost a few quid here, haven't I? Oh, dear. So we've already identified... Oh, Nudgepot might be alright if we can get to it, 4 quid! There we are, we've got a jackpot. Little scope. Oh, it's auto paying out our tokens there. So if we count the tokens as a cash prize, I finished off actually 2 quid down there, haven't I? Because 24 quid in. Oh, can we get a last little fling here? Can we get a last fling of something? Oh, shit number. I could get a quid off that. We'll gamble. Oh, go on then. Oh, I've done so badly at this skill cash. I'm slightly embarrassed, to be honest with you, how badly I've done. Oh, it's going a bit now, isn't it? That was a bit more like it. I actually just felt a little bit in the zone there. I thought I was going to hit it. I actually thought I was going to hit that then. Just for the very, very first time on this session, I actually felt a little bit like I'd got my eye in with it there, and it just abandoned me. on the very last one. That was annoying because there was a chance there of getting a big money repeater. What a great game. I've got to say, it's the better game than High Roller. I think you can see there we've got a genuine skill feature going on, which if you can get good at it, much preferred this back in the arcade. I've got, you know what, having just played them both there, I'd definitely Cash Attraction is the better machine. And you can see there, 24 in, 24 out, so I've got me money back. We could put a token. I don't think it really just holds after wins, this thing, so... Ooh, shall we just put another token? Because we have got some tokens, remember, in our... Oh, we did get £4 of tokens out of it. So, okay, then, we'll leave it there. Great machine. If you're not aware of this one, there is a DX out there for this. Old Scorpion 1 BFM Cash Attraction. And we'll finally just have a little look at Flashback. Now, this is the one that they had in the Rock. They had it there, and this was a shiny new... Let's just get all these lined up properly. There we are. This was a shiny new £4.80 jackpot machine. So there's two problems that we've got here. First of all, this is running on the upgrade ROMs. It did get an upgrade to £6, this one. So you can see our double piles are £3 plus repeats at £2.40. Our jackpot is £6. The other problem with this, and I am absolutely sure I am not sort of making this up, there must be two versions of this out there, because the one that they had in the arcade... Go on. The one that they had in the arcade had some samples. So for that little bit... For the... Which one was it? Oh, spin. So when you got the repeater there, the blue bar repeater, it actually played the same sample that Force 5 does when you get the repeater on that. So there must have been two versions of this, whereas one was for slightly cheaper hardware. I didn't realise I had a nudge there. Because the one that they had in the arcade, some of the sounds were bloopy bleepy sounds, and some of the sounds were samples. It was one of those halfway house machines where, and this was quite common, where all the manufacturers had this, I think, where they'd have on the first kind of sample machines that they did, some of the sounds would be samples and some of the sounds would be internally generated. But on this, there are no samples, and if you actually look, there are no sound ROMs for it either. But all of everything, it's not like the sounds are missing, because it does have tunes for everything. But on the one that I remember, did actually have samples. So I am sure I am not sort of making it up, that there was a version of this out there that actually had some samples in it, and this is not one of them. The one in the arcade, it had bloopy bleepy for the jackpot, which if we can get a jackpot on this, we'll be able to hear it. But it definitely had samples for the £2.40 repeater, and you can see there that we don't have it on this. The other thing with this... Well, why did I nudge away from... The other thing with this is that the jackpot is quite hard to get, because there's obviously your gamble up maxes out at the blue bar repeater. So you can get it off spin and nudge, or it'll sometimes do it as a hold after nudges or something like that. So what we'll do is we'll collect spin and nudge if we get it. Oh god, shall we have a skill cash? Oh, I didn't exchange. I pressed the wrong bloody button. I didn't press exchange for a feature. See, it does have a few little inverted commas cheats on it. Your tic-tac-toe and that. Let's go for skill cash. Oh, bollocks. But this was a spicy proposition. Bearing in mind that I even found the 10p play machines a little bit dangerous for the amount of money that I used to have on me. These were a really... Playing the 20p games, that was genuinely quite a scary proposition. To put £1 into a fruit machine and only get 5 credits. You know, this was at a time when, I say, you'd go out to Blackpool, and even that dingy arcade that was down the end of the rock, where there'd be a load of 2p play machines. So you imagine going from 2p a play to 20p a play. It was a pretty serious proposition. I was genuinely quite fearful of putting, certainly early on, once my addiction started to take hold, I kind of overcame my fear of playing the 20p play machines. But early on, I almost kind of watched in reverence the people who would dare to just pump money into the 20p play machines, because it was a little bit spicy for me. And this is one that can take a few quid when the mood takes it. This is also... Hang on, so they've got a whole... What we could do, we could exchange over there, I suppose. Let's press the right button. So you can get a jackpot off this if it wants to give it to you. One, no. These are not... there's no jackpot there, is there? It's going to auto-collect this soon. It's not... Yeah, there we are. It's auto-collected there. That is one way that you can get a jackpot. It can do a jackpot for hold after nudges as well. But shall we just quickly see if we can get a jackpot out of it? But yeah, this is also one machine that I have very specific memories of. When it was on this... Oh, come on. Can we get a jackpot? No. It doesn't. 3 holes doesn't actually work in that way, by the way. But it can drop it in when it wants to. I do remember playing this on... the £3 upgrade as well in a pub in Manchester. So I'll just finish with that for a little bit. Oh, come on. I'd like to just get a jackpot out of it. It's not, to be honest with you, it's not the best machine in the world. I was just wanting to pick 3 machines from, one machine from each of the 3 arcades that I had very clear memories of playing. But frankly, for my money, if I had to pick one of these 3, it would be Cash Attraction all day long. I think that's a fantastic machine. Still really holds up. Play it in the emulator. It's great fun. And once We Are City mentioned about, covering some of these older... I'm just trying to hold here. That doesn't work, by the way. It's not like a 7-7. I'll just do it for you here. It's not like... Oh, it did actually do it there. It did actually... It doesn't have to do that. I don't think it does anyway. See, now the one in the arcade... Oh, it's just auto-paying tokens there. The one in the arcade did that. It did exactly that jackpot sequence there with the bloopy-bleepy sound effects. But if you collected the £2.40 repeater, you got that sample, the same one that Force 5 uses. I don't think that box hold... See what I did there? Well, I think it just gave with the box... Oh, look at that. It did it on the normal ones as well. I don't think that's the thing. I think I'm just being sporty there. That was certainly not a hold I would have done. I think I'm just being... I don't know. It just seems to want to give me the jackpot there. I don't think that is actually a thing. It can hold for the jackpot, by the way. It's worth... I did see it do that in the arcade. It could do it if it wanted to. So there we are. What's our... Have we won on that? Oh, still down after that. 24 quid in, £21.60. £21.60 out. So yeah, of the 3, my choice would definitely be Cash Attraction. It would be nice if those £4.80 ROMs that actually had the samples on them ever turn up. That would be nice to play. I'm not a big fan of it not having the samples, and I don't like it. You can see there how lopsided it makes the win table. It would make far more sense for to be £2.40 at the top there instead of £3. But I will just finish off with a little Degsy story, because this machine on this stake and prize, if you can click on the right fucking one, Flashback, they had it in this pub here. This is the Star and Garter, and this is just next to Manchester Piccadilly. There's Manchester Piccadilly, and in the very, very early days of me and Mrs. Degsy going out together, let me just find it again. Yeah, so in the very, very early day, and I am talking proper, I'm talking within the first few weeks of me and Mrs. Degsy going out together. She'd been back to the Isle of Man, and then she came back to Manchester. We were both at Manchester Uni at the time, because after my terrible time when I fucked up at Lancaster University, that's a Gambling Loeb's part 4, isn't it? Gambling Loeb's part 4, where I completely fucked up at Lancaster University. I started again the next year at Manchester University. Managed 2 years of the degree that time, never finished it. But in the very early days of me and Mrs. Degsy going out together, she came back from the Isle of Man and we met up, and the idea was that we were going to go out with Mrs. Degsy's friend. She was called Susanna. She was a lovely lass, and she played the guitar. And they had like a sort of open sort of mic night upstairs in the Star and Garter. This will be May 94. I'm pretty sure this will be May 94, maybe very early June 94. And she was going to play her guitar and sing upstairs in the Star and Garter. The idea was she'd just turn up with an instrument and there'd be a few people sat around watching, you know, you just have a sing, whatever. So the three of us went there. Me, Mrs. Degsy and Susanna went in there, and I had no money because I'd lost all my money on the fruit machines. And I met Mrs. Degsy. I was fucking furious with myself because I hadn't had much. I'd had about 20 quid. Plenty, though, to have the evening. And I'd gone to the fucking arcade before I'd met her. Lost all my money, so I met up with Mrs. Degsy and Susanna. Had to do the whole, I've lost me wallet, I've lost me what, some, bullshit. And she lent me a tenner. She said, all right, no problem. I'll get a tenner out for you. There you go. You got some money for the night out. Pay me back whenever. Oh, thanks. All right. Went down to the Star and Garter. I went to the bar. Okay, I'll get the drinks. It was dead, you know, like £1.20 a pint or something like that. So I got the drinks in, and I got the change. And even though I was already on a tenner that I borrowed off Mrs. Degsy, and that was all the money I had, they had a fucking flashback in there. And I put all of that, like my change from the round, which would have been, I don't know, the round was maybe £3 odd. So I got the fucking change in pound coins. That was the thing. My change could have been like a £5 note and maybe £1 and 2.40p or whatever. 2.20p rather. 40p would be quite a coin, wouldn't it? But I asked for the change in pound coins. I'm out with my brand new girlfriend and her friend. I've got 10 quid for the night out that she has lent me. I buy one round and ask for the change in pound coins and went to this machine, and it took the lot off me. And I was on the very last 2 or 3 credits of my last pound, and I was really sweating because I'm like, you have properly fucked yourself now, because she knows you've got no money. But she also knows that you had a tenner that she gave you about 20 minutes ago. How do you explain being skint after buying one round that costs less than 4 quid? You absolute fucking wanker. And on the last 2 or 3 credits, I got the 3 quid and it repeated once for 6 quid. I collected that 6 quid and just ran away from the machine and sat down thinking, what the fuck are you doing here? And it was so crazy. I was thinking about it last night when I was thinking about planning this video out in my head. Just the places that you'll put yourself in as an addict. And I think it's just the thrill of playing. It was just the thrill of doing it. The thrill of indulging the addiction, whatever the stakes were, however little sense it made, however much it could fuck everything else up, just for that momentary buzz, that momentary hit of feeding the addiction and gambling, even though if you stepped back from it and thought about what you were doing, it was utterly, utterly crazy. So yeah, that I got my 6 quid and then fucking hell. But that was it then. The beast had been sated enough to put it to one side. There you go, there's your fucking meat, you bastard. Now leave me alone for the rest of the evening so I can enjoy some time with my girlfriend. But yeah, I don't know what would have happened in an alternate universe where I didn't get 6 quid off my last few credits, which gave me, I still then had the right amount of money that I should have on me. I don't know what I would have said. The next time my round came up, and I was like, oh, I've got no money left, sorry. But it didn't happen because I got 6 quid off this machine in that pub in the Star and Garter, which is still there. But that would have been May or very, very early June of 1994. So I have played it on the £3 upgrade version. I do remember it being out there. I'd love one day for it. Maybe they're already out there and I don't know about it, but those 240 ROMs and the ones that have got the samples on them as well. That they would be nice to play, but yeah. I remember playing that machine on that stake and prize in the Star and Garter in Manchester in May or June of 1994. Just a little bit of a waffly story there. Anyway, I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed this video and I will catch up with you next time. But for now it is goodbye.